Thanks, Marshall. Welcome, everyone, to today's July 3rd Q&A. My name is Gary Gerwer. I'm a data analyst, and I will be hosting the meeting. And let's see, for announcements, we had a flash come out. I think it was yesterday or the day before. CALPADS Flash 283, and it had to do with their really getting going there on the 24-25 CALPADS fall submission deadlines. I guess the first deadline is going to be December 13th, and then the amendment window starts with the final deadline of January 24th to complete fall 1, and then fall 2's deadline will be February 28th. And then the second part of that flash talks about the 24-25 regional meetings. There's a link in there to go to see your actual region and the dates they're going to have them. Although when I went to that page, they don't have the signups yet for that, but at least you can see what date is going to be in your region. And I was telling my team I like this flash because of the 283. My first car was a 1964 Chevelle Super Sport. My grandma gave it to me for my 16th birthday, and it had a small block Chevy 283 engine, which was my first engine I got to tear apart, rebuild, and everything. So every time I see 283, it reminds me of my first car. And with that, I'm sorry, Martha, did you have any other announcements or anything?
No, I have nothing else. July 12th is around the corner. We are aiming to get LEAs to 0 validation. So reach out to us if you're struggling.
All right. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. And I expect we might have a smaller crowd today because it is the holiday weekend coming up. Although we will be here, or I won't, I'm going on vacation, but a lot of us will be here on Friday. We won't be here tomorrow, of course, it's for the holiday, but Jesus will be here on Friday. Okay, first Q1 is from Sin. My sped department asked me to create a record for a homeschooled sped student, but the student already has an enrollment with another district. Which enrollment status should I proceed with?
So homeschooled being the instruction and another LEA maybe doing the services? Is that how you're reading that?
Yeah.
Do we need a ticket?
We might need a
I
ticket on that.
think so. Yeah, because to me that's confusing. If the student's already enrolled with another district, then they're not homeschooled, right?
Yeah.
Unless they're a secondary enrollment. I don't know. So if ticket with an SSID would help.
Okay. Trying to do the thing where I click them so they disappear. Okay. Question 1 from Jasmine. We have a student who, as of the last day of school, is under a voluntary stipulated expulsion. Voluntary stipulated expulsion that has a 12-month term, and they have re-enrolled with us for next year. It's our first time reporting this type of discipline record. How should this be reported to CALPADS? I've entered a 200 expulsion with a modification code of 100 enforcement suspended with the start day of the last day of school and the end date as detailed in the signed board approved voluntary stipulated expulsions agreement. Does anyone have an idea on this one?
It sounds like she did it correctly because you report the expulsion, but you were saying that it's been modified. The voluntary stipulated expulsion. Jasmine, did you get any errors in submitting it that way? I mean, it happened the last day of school, the incident?
Start date of the last day of school. No errors.
If you send it in as a ticket, we can double check that it was done correctly, but on the surface, it seems logical the way you reported it. but we'll double check if you send us in a ticket.
Okay. And question 1 from Alejandra, do we report LIP programs for end of year? No, those aren't on any of the fall end of year 2 reports. They don't have the LIP programs on end of year 2. Q1 from Natasha, is there a reason that we're getting potential matches through the match tool for students whose birthday is up to 12 years ago? I believe the logic used is to keep it to date of births that were within a calendar year or so. It makes it very cumbersome to weed through the potential matches for our incoming TK and K students, and I know we want to avoid mids at all costs, for sure. Thanks for anything you can do. Angela is kind of the expert on the mid tool, mid matching tool, but she's on vacation. But I don't know, do we limit it to a calendar year?
I don't think so. If the birthdays match,
Yeah.
because presumably you could have a student come back that was with us in kinder and now they're a senior, right? So we want to look back previous years to see if there's a potential match there. So maybe I'm not understanding why we want to limit the date of births.
Yeah, I don't think that it has to match on the date of birth, right? And the matching.
Right, because you'll get percentages of, if it's off a couple days or whatnot, the percentage will decrease as it gets farther away from or other things that don't match as well.
Oh, where the birthdays are off by 12 years. Is that what they're saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like we're not doing a weight and saying, well, this is not such a good match because the birth year is off by way off. It's not even the same birth year.
Yeah, she's getting high school students for TK student matches. Yeah, I don't know if something got changed, or I don't think they were working on doing anything, but
Yeah, so submit a ticket so we can ask the developer if there's been any change in that.
thanks for bringing that up. Okay, Q1 from Susan. What was just said about the letter going out? I think you're talking about the flash I talked about at the beginning.
No, if they have fatal errors on July 12th, superintendents will get a letter.
Oh, okay.
And the letter would just say that the department's very concerned because if you're still resolving errors 2 weeks prior to that deadline of July 26, it usually means that you're still struggling and you may not have enough time to review reports, and therefore you may have poor quality, and then it gets on the dashboard. And so we're trying to help LEAs have more time to improve their quality of data and not have problem data on the dashboard. And so in order for that to happen, we recommend 2 weeks prior to a deadline that you're done working on validations and you're able to focus on the actual results on a report. So superintendents are going to be alerted to the fact that their district is at risk for not meeting the deadline, or if you meet it, you could have poor quality data. And it's all to get superintendents to think about helping you guys have more resources and support so that you can get done in a timely manner, and that there is ample resources to do the reviews so there is quality data. But we're not trying to put the blame on the data coordinator. We know what you guys are up against. We're trying to get you more support by alerting the superintendent that something's not quite going quite right for their LEA.
And she followed up saying, will the dashboard data include anything we change in the amendment window? And I think the amendment window is so you can go in and make corrections if you notice your reports are off. So the dashboard data should reflect what the final certification is.
Yeah, the data is not pulled until the amendment window closes. So you have up until the amendment to make adjustments, but we're looking to be sure that you have all of your errors cleared 2 weeks prior so that you can make those corrections. And if an error pops up, on July 30th, then you fix it and you're in better shape to be successful in quality data by the time the amendment window closes. if you can get all of those errors taken care of by July 12th.
Okay, Q1 from Javier. I'm getting a CERT 04. Student has no ethnicity. Race data. The student ethnicity indicator is set to yes. What's that a problem with that one? Ethnicity missing indicator set to no, and race missing indicator set to yes, with all 5 race codes left blank. If I am indicating that the race code is missing, why is it triggering? The student's race was intentionally left blank by the parent. So you have that it's missing, yes, have that race is missing is yes, and you're still getting there. We might need a ticket to investigate with the SSID number of the student, because that doesn't sound right. Q1 from Colleen. Sorry, Martha, I was finding Zoom audio when you gave the superintendent letter announcement. Could you please repeat that? And actually, I think you did already.
Yeah, I think I did already. And Colleen did, if you didn't hear the second time I did it, let us know.
Hey, Gary.
Yes.
Could we, and I know the question's off the screen, but going back to that CERT 4, one thing that they need to look for too is that all days of their enrollment are covered by SINF data. So if theirs is the first enrollment and it started on May 1st, but the SINF record starts on May 2nd, they'll get that CERT 4 because there's one day not reported.
Good point.
So
Thanks, Paul.
that's something they also need to look for.
Okay. Yep. Good point. Q1 from Larissa. Has a new flash since flash 279 been sent regarding TK TBDs? I don't know if we've had one. We had all those flashes, but I don't know if any of them were specific to TK TBDs.
No, I don't think so. I think that's the one that Paula had said that there was going to be another flash on, but
she's been out, I think.
Yeah.
So probably still forthcoming. Rebecca says not a new flash, but there was a letter sent to superintendents on the 20th of June. And Natasha said what Alex said, Paul said one would be coming. Question 1 from Rebecca. When will letters be going out to superintendents? Is it only in regards to fatal errors? Sorry, I heard the end of the announcement. Martha, just answer my question. Thank you. Okay, we already got that. Q2, and it's the only question, so we'll go ahead into the Q2 now. If a student is only receiving SPED services, not attending any other LAA, private or out of district, to upload data from SACE, an enrollment is required. Should that enrollment be reported as 10 primary, 20 secondary, or 50 non-ADA? If it's not private, then it would be 10 primary. Swan, I apologize to the FICMAT team for causing issues with my listserv posts about the calendar yesterday. I'm not sure what that is about.
We've been pretty busy taking in and working on tickets, Sue Ann. We haven't had a chance maybe to look at the listserv. I don't know.
I've been, we've been pretty busy on tickets. And Angela's been out and she helps us a lot on tickets. So we're a little backlogged. Oh, she said Paula take care of it. Okay, it's 3:16 and I'm out of questions. Oh, here's a Q3 from Javier. We have a student who is intending an out-of-state RTC. How would report this in CALPADS if they are not listed as state adopted MPS? I'm not sure what RTC is. We might need a ticket on that one because I don't know what's jumping into.
Yeah. Or wait until the Monday sped office hours?
Oh, that's a good advice. Oh, residential treatment center. Yeah, that might be good. What Alex said, the office hours from the sped team is 3 o'clock on Mondays. Question 1 from Kimberly. Is there information about the letters to superintendents about resolving errors by July 12th in writing anywhere that we can reference?
I'm trying to think if we mentioned the milestone date of July 12th. It's been in our training. It's in the checklist. When you look at the milestone dates, it says July 12th. And I thought, I don't know if specifically it was in any other communication out to the field. Do you guys recall at all? If in any of the flashes or when we've said, here's what the date is? I'd have to go
Yeah, not off the
look
top of my
things up.
head.
So Kimberly, if you want to send in a ticket, I can do some research and tell you if there's anything more detailed that was put out. I think it goes in line
Oh.
with the trailer bill language and the dates being moved up and CD wanting LEAs to, be able to work towards the shorter timelines and getting the work done.
In Flash 273, we talked about wanting LEAs to resolve all fatal errors by July 12th.
Thank you, Alex. What was the date of that?
May 29th. I'll put the link in the chat.
Okay, we have a Q2 from Sin. I have been getting letters regarding CASP. Continued. A change in the CALPADS data has caused the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act indicator or Section 504 indicator in TOM for students in the LA to reset to no. As a result, while students still may be eligible for the alternative assessments, none of these students is eligible for the accommodations or unlisted resources in which the student has previously been assigned. A list of the students affected can be found as an attachment to this email. What are we required to do on the CALPADS end? I don't know that we had anything they had to do on the CALPADS end.
I don't think so either, because
Yeah.
accommodations and modifications come from their local system straight to Tom's. Does anybody on the call know?
I have a vague recollection of this happening at the beginning of every year for kiddos that are new transferring to your district, where you needed to adopt the plan. Because I don't know if this is it's a little fuzzy, but I want to say that is a letter that gets sent out whenever the plan does not align with your LEA. But I don't know with the sped redesign if that's still the case or not.
Okay.
Oh, Audrey, I think responded.
Typically, it's either a new transfer needing a plan or a student who has exited from SPED. Send it to your SPED data person to verify and then move forward. Anytime the student is exited, you will get this notification.
Thank you, Audrey.
Comment from Rebecca. Hi there. I want to make sure this does not get missed. One thing to ponder as the deadlines move to earlier dates are court schools. They end on June 30th. It is a tight turnaround. That is a tight turnaround.
Another reason why the data coordinators need to involve their administration in recognizing the change in the timelines and its impact on your ability to get the work done, that it may require organizational changes and workflows in other departments have to change in order to get data in a more timely manner. So it's not just put on the shoulders of the data coordinators. That we're hoping that the leadership is aware of shorter deadlines means possibly changes to the local practices.
Okay, Q2 from Natasha. Can anyone point me to the current guidance from SPED regarding students being assessed during this summer before our 24-25 school year starts, specifically about the start dates? So we have there's something written down somewhere and I can't remember it now.
I want to say that Dominic had it in one of the slides for their sped office hours. I'm looking at it
So one of
now.
the slideshows that he does at the start of his office hours.
So maybe just giving them the box site link, because there's lots of documents in the box site. Oh, look at that.
Oh, and Sun just posted it there in the Q&A.
You guys are so helpful today.
Thank you. Question one from Cassie. One of our schools that is an independent study dropped a handful of students as truant. T160. In CALPADS towards the end of 23-24 school year. The school site secretary said they were dropped for not doing their work. So it's a truant drop. And they told the parents that these students that they would need to enroll in their home district next school year, but the site has no documentation to that end. The secretary is currently evacuated due to a local fire. Oh my, and is sure if they are SARBed the students or not, isn't sure if they SARB the students or not. So I'm working to find that out. In the meantime, I'm trying to make sure SACE exit will be accurate. I'm leaning towards 74 dropout reason below versus the 76 transferred one, but the 74 dropout reasons in SACE don't seem to match the situation exactly since the student didn't withdraw exactly. And the student was able to contact, and the school was able to contact the student. So I'd like to weigh in on which of these two SACE exit codes would be appropriate one to use. And it looks like 76 transferred moved and known to be continuing, including transfer to another program, not a CALPADS reportable reason. Or the 74 dropout, student withdrew, left school, and includes attempts to contact unsuccessful or not known to be continuing.
I don't know if this is helpful, but in terms of CALPADS, I don't know if both get crosswalked to the same non-participation reason status code on our end. So I don't know if the effects would end up being the same, and it just locally they'd see a 74 versus 76. I'm not sure how the mapping goes from SACE to what we see in terms of the status and non-participation reason for that student.
Thanks, Meredith.
Yeah.
Audrey follows up with 76 will not create a CALPADS sped exit. 74 will create a CALPADS sped exit of left school not enrolled. I would use 74, Audrey says. Q2 from Anonymous. Do school districts receive any revenue for students enrolled in programs 181 or 182 after census day? I think they only look at census day, who was enrolled in those programs as of census day. They can still be in the FRP program all year, but I think as far as revenue, I think it's all calculated on what was happening on census day. I missed the question. Also from Anonymous, Q1 regarding report 1.17 for fall 1, our district identified 50 errors for the direct certification list. Student had code MST and a lunch enrollment 181 was entered in CALPADS. The issue identified is if a student qualified in December 2023 for the DC list, then an enrollment was entered as the first day of school instead of December 2023 date. Any possibility I can run the 117 report through the ODS and pull an updated version of the report 1.17 as the last day of school. So the ODS version of the 1.17, you can put a date range. It'll be as of whatever date you want to run it by. That would reflect the changes, but that wouldn't change anything as far as last fall 1 and census day.
So direct certification is part of 1.17 and the system generates whether you're direct certified or not. So it doesn't matter if you have a program record, so long as there's a match and that came in by the November pool, where the system's going to count you and you can't alter that. The fact that you added a program record based on the direct cert, it's the direct cert that mattered because you can't control that. So I don't know how you can change it other than you could get rid of the program records, but if they weren't considered direct certification in the November pool, then they wouldn't have been included in LCFF unless you had the program record that, I don't know, started early. So I just wanted to mention that.
And Chantel followed up with, is the ODS 1.17 returning the TKs now? It wasn't earlier this year. No, it is still not including TKs. Q1 from Stella is if possible that a fatal error may still clear if the revision create date timestamp was before the latest CDD run completion date time. I think that's supposed to be it. Is it possible that a fatal error may still clear if the revision create date timestamp was before the latest CDD run compile time? It's possible if your revisions haven't completed, especially if you look at the error and you see that you have the data in there and it looks like everything's good. More than likely you are waiting for a new revision for the error to clear. The CDDs and the revisions are kind of separate processes. The CDDs should run quicker, but the revisions, you may only get one
And
or
I
two a
think,
day.
Gary, it may also depend on the type of error. So CDDs are don't include the cert errors, the validations that have a prefix of CERT. Those aren't controlled by the data discrepancy runs. They only refresh if you get a new revision. So depending on what your errors were, if they were like a SENR 606, if it cleared on your data discrepancy and it yet isn't cleared on your revision, then you just got to wait for the revision to catch up.
Question 1 from Padma. How important is June Direct Cert import? Can we still import and submit the FRP data before I certify end of year 1? Well, I don't know that it would be required. I mean, if they're directly certified, you wouldn't need to do FRPM data. But it really doesn't have anything to do with end of year.
So some of the subgroups that we have in EOY, I think it automatically takes into account if the student is direct certified. Right? Am I right, you guys?
SED, right?
Yeah.
Yes, socioeconomically disadvantaged.
So if they're not identified any other way and direct cert's the only way that they're going to be identified, then it can be important.
Yes. Okay. No open questions.
Look at that, Gary. Is this record time? 32 minutes?
It's one of the top 10, I think. We've had some pretty quick ones, but it's usually around a holiday when we don't get a lot of questions.
Yeah. In the chat, I did put a link to the section where Sean spoke about July the 12th. If you click on that link, it'll take you directly to where she's speaking about the error-free deadline of July 12th.
Joanne says, I hope you enjoy your country's birthday tomorrow. Remember, safe and sane. I would like to add, make sure you keep hydrated.
Mm.
They're
Yeah,
putting
it's
a lot of
hot.
news out about people getting heat exhaustion and stuff. So try to stay cool. Rebecca says, has everyone been noticing CalPADS revised reports running slowly? Oops, it's taking about 24 hours to see a revised report, even though only one update was made. Reports have been working pretty good for me. I did have a SELPA report that wouldn't come up, but other reports seem like they were
Revisions, I think she's talking about, right?
revised.
Or maybe not. Maybe you read it correctly and I'm
I don't know.
inferring. Revisions are slow for me.
Oh, she is saying yes, revisions. Yeah,
I agree, Rebecca.
There
They're
are
not
slow.
happening as fast as we would like. And it was part of trying to get the data discrepancies in sync. We continue to look at it.
well, what do you say, Martha? We call it or?
Yeah, you're running it.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, we got one question just popped in from Susan. Is the course completion file a total replacement file? It is on certain operational keys. So you have to look at the CalPADS file specification document, the Word document, and go to the course completion, and there's operational keys. So if you match those operational keys, it's full replacement. It won't wipe out all your courses. Like let's say you have a semester 1 and semester 2, and you only upload semester 1 stuff, that's going to get wiped out, but not the ones that are a different academic term. Anonymous Q3, to get some clarity regarding I thought I misread that, but it's written twice. Regarding 181, 182, does this mean we do not need to create any new enrollments after census day? You should put enrollments as they come in. And if someone is in the FRPM program, you could put that record in there. Any guidance on how to upload the course completion files for general classes separately from the college courses? Well, you could just have them in a separate, I'm not sure about your student information system, but if you're using the batch file templates, you could put those separate in a separate CRSC file.
But I would just caution that it's not the same school, the same academic term, because then it's going to wipe out the
Right.
previous upload you did.
Yeah, so do take a look at the Word CalPADS file specifications document and look at those operational keys, because if you match on those, then everything's gone.
And Karen posted the link to the user manual that shows all the different file types and what
perfect.
specific fields. Yeah. Also in the comments, Gary, I think it was Colleen, asked if your shirt was fireworks.
It is. I get to wear this once a year, but I'm not going to be anywhere where there's fireworks tomorrow, so I had to wear it today. Chantel, question 1. I'm still new. Should we be uploading course section enrollment for the second semester? I only see fall 1 or end of year as export for PowerSchool. So yeah, definitely do the end of year. That should pull in according to your student information system, I would expect it would pull in everything. You should get everything that they completed throughout the year. Susan says, if it's total replacement file, I don't know how to do this. Well, don't we have a training video on the process?
Yeah, and you could also, if it's not too many college courses or too many students, do it online after you submit your file, and the online editions are not for replacement.
Yeah.
Okay. Out of questions again? I say we call it and finish up the last couple of works before, and hopefully everyone has a holiday off tomorrow, so we can get back and finish up our last little bit of work before we can start the holiday. So thanks everyone. Thanks for all the help, and thanks for all the help from the LEAs that are giving us comments, because it's very helpful to have everyone jump in and help. We'll be back again next Wednesday, and hopefully it won't be in temperatures over 100. This can't last forever. Thanks everyone.